Dell PCs with Intel inside are built for the moments that matter, for the moments you plan and the ones you don't. Built for the busy days that turn into all-night study sessions. The moment you're working from a cafe and realize every outlet's taken. The times you're deep in your flow and the absolute last thing you need is an auto update throwing off your momentum. That's why Dell builds tech that adapts to the way you actually work. Built with long-lasting batteries so you're not scrambling for the closest outlet. And built-in intelligence that makes updates around your schedule, not in the middle of it. They don't build tech for tech's sake. They build it for you. Find technology built for the way you work at Dell.com/DellPCs. Built for you.
This is Optimal Finance Daily, 8 Unusual Things to Hold in Your IRA by Jeff Rose of GoodFinancialSense.com. Typically, when people think of an IRA or what you can hold in an IRA, they think of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, CDs, maybe even money markets. What a lot of people don't know is that there are things that you can hold in your IRA other than the usual suspects. Some of the things that people would like to hold in an IRA, but they can't, are insurance policies, certain collectibles such as art, antiques, metals, rugs, gems, stamps, coins, or even maybe alcoholic beverages such as wines. Unfortunately, none of those can be held in an IRA. On the bright side, here are 8 things that can be held in your IRA. Number 1, certain gold and silver coins minted by the U.S. Treasury. These include the Gold Eagle and Silver Eagle coins. You may also vest into high-quality gold, silver, or platinum and palladium bullion. Number 2, stock from an initial public offering. Most are familiar with the letters IPO. If a company has never issued equity before, it would be considered an IPO. Since it's an entirely new issue, there are certainly more risks involved. Number 3, closely held stock. Private or closed corporation stock offerings are not available to the public on the open market. Normally, they're made to pre-qualified individuals. These offerings must comply with the securities blue sky laws in the state in which the offering is made. The number of individuals included in the offering cannot exceed the maximum stipulated by state law. These offerings, usually made by corporations seeking capitalization, can be in any class of stock described in their prospectus. Many corporations act as their own registrar as well as transfer agent. They may or may not use market makers for their offerings. Purchases and sales are described in their offering materials, which you should study closely. Number 4, real estate investments. If you've watched as much Flip That House as I have, you know that flipping a home can be a good real estate investment. But whoever thought you could hold that real estate in an IRA? Here are some of the type of properties that you can hold. Single-family and multi-unit homes, apartment buildings, co-ops, condominiums, commercial property, and improved or unimproved land, leveraged or unleveraged. You can use a special type of IRA to hold real estate called a self-directed IRA. You can use a company called Equity Trust to hold your self-directed IRA. Number 5, limited partnerships. A partnership is a type of unincorporated business organization in which multiple individuals, called general partners, manage the business and are equally liable for the debts of the business. Other individuals, called limited partners, may invest in the business but are not directly involved in management. Limited partners are liable only to the extent of their investments. Unlike a limited liability company or a corporation, partners share equal responsibility for the company's profits and losses and its debts and liabilities. The partnership itself does not pay income taxes, but each partner has to report their share of business profits or losses on their individual tax return. Estimated tax payments are also necessary for each of the partners for the year in progress. General rules regarding partnerships in a self-directed IRA or real estate IRA. Here are some general rules regarding self-directed partnership investments in your self-directed individual retirement account or real estate IRA. The partnership agreement must permit an individual retirement account or a qualified plan to be a partner. The partnership must comply with the appropriate state law have a determinate life, and be assignable. And the partnership subscription agreement must be signed by you as having been read and approved and will be executed by and trust for your benefit. Partnerships may be subject to unrelated business income, UBIT, and other taxes. It's important to consult your tax advisor for proper direction. Number 6, oil and gas royalty interest. Minerals, royalties, and overriding royalties receive revenues from the production of oil and gas from a well without paying the drilling or monthly operating expenses from the well. The term royalties can be used interchangeably to mean mineral interests, royalty interests, or overriding royalty interests. However, there's a difference between minerals and royalties, and an even greater difference between overriding royalties and both minerals and royalties. The similarity between mineral interests and royalty interests is that both involve ownership of minerals under the ground. Both receive portions of the income from the production of oil and gas. However, the difference is that the owner of a mineral interest also has the right to execute leases as well as collect bonus payments, whereas the owner of royalty interests does not execute leases or collect bonus payments. Number 7, stock options. Unless you work for a major corporation, you probably aren't familiar with stock options. Basically, a company will give their employees options on the company stock that can be redeemed hopefully as a gain later on. If held in an IRA, these gains could be deferred. And number 8, notes or mortgages. A note is a vehicle that is used to extend credit from one or more individuals or entities to another individual or individual's entity. There are 2 types of notes. Secured notes are backed by collateral, providing the lender increased assurance of return of the loan amount and interest, such as mortgages and deeds of trust. And unsecured notes are not backed by collateral. You might consider an unsecured note for perhaps a friend or a non-disqualified relative, but it's a higher risk and sometimes reward than a secured note. Investing in trust deeds and mortgage notes. To clear up confusion, a trust deed, deeds of trust, and mortgage notes are largely the same investment, depending on the state you reside in. These notes may be either in first or subordinate positions and may be purchased from brokers or private parties. Usually, the documentation is recorded at county recorders' offices and title to the property is insured as instructed. Disadvantages of these investments. While it's an interesting and unique list, one of the disadvantages of doing so is that most of these types of investments are illiquid. From my personal experience, other than the gold coins, most of my clients have not attempted to hold any of these types of investments in their IRAs. For those that are approaching required minimum distribution age at 70 and a half, holding some of these illiquid investments will make it difficult to generate the cash that's required to be taken out. And by not taking out the RMD, you're subject to the 50% penalty that the IRS will impose. In addition to that, it may be difficult to find a trustee that will be willing to hold these types of assets. Many investment or brokerage firms are not willing to do the extra work to hold such a unique asset in a self-directed IRA. You just listened to the post titled 8 Unusual Things to Hold in Your IRA by Jeff Rose of goodfinancialsense.com.
Tax season is one of the only times people look at their full financial picture, but I see it all year round and know where my tax refund will have the biggest impact because you want to make progress with your money, not just look back and wonder where it all went. Simplify your finances with Monarch. Monarch is the all-in-one personal finance tool designed to make your life easier. It brings your entire financial life, budgeting, accounts and investments, net worth, and future planning together in one dashboard on your phone or laptop. Feel aware and in control of your finances this tax season and get 50% off your Monarch subscription with code OPTIMAL. I've been using Monarch for years. It keeps me focused on planning and hitting financial milestones, not feeling bad about past spending. Achieve your financial goals for good with Monarch, the all-in-one tool that makes money management simple. Use code OPTIMAL at monarch.com for half off your first year. That's 50% off at monarch.com, code OPTIMAL.
America leads the world in medicine development. It matters. We get new medicines first, nearly 3 years faster. 5 million Americans go to work because we make medicines here at home, and not relying on other countries keeps us safe. But China is racing to overtake us. Will we let them, or will we choose to stay ahead? When America leads, America cures. Let's tell Washington to keep us in the lead.
Learn how at americacures.com. Paid for by Pharma.
I can see why people find self-directed IRAs appealing, but since I'm such a lazy investor, I've never bothered with them. These specialized retirement accounts let investors do things they can't in an ordinary IRA, like invest directly in alternative assets. But they come with additional risks and require more effort. As part of their contracts, self-directed IRA custodians only agree to handle the administrative work for your account. It's up to you to make sure the investments are appropriate, safe, and legitimate. Alternative assets have less government oversight and are usually less transparent than publicly traded stocks and bonds. For that reason, you may need to hire an independent professional, such as an attorney, to help vet any major investment. Self-directed IRAs aren't cheap. Along with transaction fees, the IRA custodian can also charge an accountant setup fee, an annual fee, and a fee per asset held in your account. These fees range from several hundred to several $1,000s per year, depending on the account size, the number of investments made, and the IRA custodian. It's also suboptimal to hold real estate in a retirement account. It's more beneficial to keep your real estate portfolio as a taxable investment because you can immediately depreciate your rental real estate, and you may be able to deduct some or all of rental real estate losses against other taxable income. But that'll do it for today. Thank you for listening. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on tomorrow's show where your optimal life awaits.